Obi-Wan Kenobi series, episode 3 right now. It's the continuation. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Princess Leia, little Princess Leia. They're on this ship to go to MAPUZO. Um, it's a mining planet where they make the parts to make the Death Star, and the people are there being oppressed by the Imperial uh, order. And Obi-Wan Kenobi is meditating, is trying to get in contact with the Force ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn, and he's struggling. He also sees at the same time Anakin come out the back of tank, and they put in different parts on his body. He has to go in the back of tank so far to heal his body up, but his arms are gone and his limbs are gone, so he has prosthetic thing machine that puts the prosthetic parts on him, and the breastplate thing, and then the mask over his head so he can breathe. And he built his castle on Mustafar. That's the planet that was in when they was in Revenge of the Sith, when they were fighting in the prequels. Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Anakin became Darth Vader. And his body got burned up, and because of that situation, the Emperor Darth Sidious wanted him to have the castle on Mustafar so he can draw from that energy. And he looks out his window in his castle where he fell on that part where the lava engulfed his body and burned his body up. And he draws from the dark energy from that particular situation. And Leia wakes up from her nap, and she was asking him about the Force, and he was telling me the Force is just like when you turn a light on, you feel safe. When you in darkness, uh, you feel a certain way, but when you turn the light on, you feel a certain safeness about it. And she was asking him, can he make the ship go faster? And he's like, no, I can't do that. So they go on my proposal, this mining place. They're supposed to meet up with this other person so that they can get little Princess Leia back to her parents. But at the same time, they walking, and Obi-Wan's feeling the PTSD, and he's feeling he sees Force, or is it a Force uh, dreams of Anakin Skywalker, and he's walking, and then Princess Leia said, "We need to get help. We need to get a way to get transport to get where we need to go to," and she's trying to flag down this individual. There's some creature, looked like a walrus like looking creature. I can't think of the guy's name. Something Fretz or something. And she had basically said, "This is me, and my father. We trying to get ready to go. We went to visit some family. We just trying to find a way to back. Can we catch a ride with you?" He's like, "Oh, sure." And Obi-Wan doesn't want to go on there because he sees that the Imperial uh, flag thing emblem on the vehicle. So he's like, "Nah, this is not a good idea because they hunting to kill me and all of the Jedi." So she's like, "Don't worry, don't worry." So they got on there, and then they got down a little piece, and then these stormtroopers. And I'm like, "Oh man, the stormtroopers is right there," and they were trying to catch a ride because the guy that's driving the creature that's driving the ship is a Imperial loyalist, so I would call a sellout. So you know, he lets them get on the vehicle too, and they're asking Obi-Wan questions about does he know the Jedi. He's like, no, I don't know nothing about Jedi. This is my daughter Luma, and they talk and they asking him questions, and then he breaks character and says Layla, and they were like, wait a minute, you said Layla. I thought her daughter was Luma. And he said, oh, my wife had the name Layla, and I remember her. And my daughter, I get them mixed up sometimes because she just looks just like her mother when she passed away. So in that particular instance, he was talking about Padme, who is Layla and Leia and Luke's real mother, who died by the hands of Anakin Skywalker, who became Darth Vader. He choked her, force choked her, and killed her. So then they let those troopers off, and then he's driving them to an outpost thing where there's more stormtrooper, and Obi-Wan's getting kind of nervous. And then the guy gets off the transport and tells the stormtroopers, "There's some strange people in the back of my truck. You need to check them out." So he's a little traitor. So they tell him to get off. At the same time, Reva gets the commands from Darth Vader, and Darth Vader told her that, "I know that you want to be a Grand Inquisitor," in so many words. "And if you do what I tell you do, and you do what's right, I will give you that position." And she told him that Obi-Wan killed uh, the Grand Inquisitor. And we know that some people say the Grand Inquisitor is not dead because he has two stomachs. So when he got stabbed, it's possible he's in a back tank, or somebody can fix him and put some kind of parts in his body. So Reva is trying to get that position, and Reva has her mind hell bent on getting at Obi-Wan Kenobi for something. I don't know, something in the past between them. And a lot of people say that she is a Jedi from Coruscant, that temple. She was there at the temple when the thing went down. That's the big speculation. We still don't know for sure yet, but she goes to the other Inquisitors, and they one of us, the fifth brother, he's trying to take. He wants the position, since the other one is supposed to be is assumed to be dead, and she's like, "Nah, I'm in charge. Vader put me in charge." So they sent the probes out there to the planet MAPUZO so that they can find out where Obi-Wan's at, his locations. So yeah, then you got the then like I said, they go to this outpost thing with all these stormtroopers, and they tell him to get off, and then the probe comes in and try to take his picture, and he gets ready to pull the blaster, start shooting at it, shooting at the stormtroopers. Not the guy that set him up, took him there, and one of them falls off and falls right between this little thing, this fence, that electrified fence that looked like a lightsaber that cut this body in two. And then they go across, they destroy it, machine, and try to go across, and then there's a big little big transport with more stormtroopers, and there's other person that looks like a imperial uh, person in charge. And come to find out, they told him to stand down. They got on the ground, and she shoots the stormtroopers and kill them, and tell everyone to follow her. And they have some kind of outpost place where they go to, some kind of building, and some type of robot that does transport is in there. And then there's secret passages behind in this building, and apparently a lot of the Jedi's. One of the Jedi's was basically trying to save a lot of the younglings, and they will go there to try to hide out to get to another location where they can hide out somewhere else. Yeah, so I think one's Queen Vaughn or something. It's supposed to be Queen Voss or something. Yeah, he's supposed to be a Jedi was in the prequels, and he was trying to save a lot of the younglings from the Order 66, and he's still alive. And Obi-Wan is like shocked that he's still alive, and he was reading some stuff on the walls that Jedi's had put on the wall or something. And there's another passageway where they can go and get to the transport to get to the ship to get them where they need to go to take Layla back to her parents. And basically he could sense Vader because he started having like a panic attack, and Vader's coming through the town, and he's like really messing with the people. He's force choking people and force choking them and snapping their neck, and he can sense Obi-Wan's near. So Obi-Wan tells them to go and go to the tunnel and watch Layla. So he could sense it. So he tries to get out some kind of way, and then Vader feels him and starts taunting him. And it's like, Obi-Wan is not at his maximum performance because it's been 10 years since has not really used the Force, and he's kind of like shut off from the Force. I think like he shut himself off from the Force, so he would be detected by the Imperial Inquisitors and the people that's after him. So he basically shut himself off from the Force. So he's kind of rusty with the lightsaber. So he gets the lightsaber, comes out, he's using it like a light to try to see. It's dark, and then Obi-Wan and Vader fight. And in this particular scene, these scenes, it seems like Vader has the more stronger hold of Obi-Wan because he wants to taunt him and make him suffer the way that he suffered. He said, "What are you?" You say, "You made me this way," because he left him there almost to fall when they fought and he cut his legs off. His body burned up with the lava on him. So he basically takes some mining stuff and then ignites it on fire and drags Obi-Wan through this whole fire thing and burn him up. He got a lot of burns in his body, but the other lady I was trying to get Layla back to her tell her to Layla, you go ahead and get Obi-Wan. So she saves him by shooting some of the stormtroopers. They were telling him to get the body and basically get the body and bring it to me. And she shoots at him, and then she causes a fire around it. And Vader could have force jumped and got him, but for some reason he just didn't want to get him at this particular one. It was taunting him, and they got to get him some type of medical support to get him so you can get some kind of medical attention. And then Layla, she is Princess Leia. She is running through this tunnel, and Reva, the third sister, basically somehow got in front of her some kind of way through that tunnel. Went through some kind of way to got there ahead of her, and she was supposed to get to the right person to get on the plane to get where she needed to get home. And she was right there, and it went off, and I was like, "Oh man!" So this was pretty interesting episode. We don't know what's going to happen next. We don't know what is Reva real motivation. Is she trying to get close to Vader so she can try to kill Vader, or she's trying to get close to Vader to try to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi because she blames Obi-Wan Kenobi? If she's one of those Jedi's that in the temple that was upset because of what happened, they were kind of left by themselves. So that could be it too. Telling. But we'll find out next time. Everybody take care. May the Force be with you.